Hello everyone, this is part 3 of series lecture on combustion in SI engine. In this lecture, we will discuss effect of different engine variables on ignition lag. First of all, what is ignition lag? As we have discussed already in previous part, ignition lag is not a period of inactivity as the conception is. This is basically a duration while some chemical activities or some chemical reactions take place behind the screen. And these chemical reaction basically produces initial combustion or initially heated up the particles of the charge to reach the self ignition temperature of the fuel and ignite the some particles of the fuel, so a self propagating nucleus of flame established. The ignition lag in term of crank angle is generally of 10 to 20 degree, and basically this duration depend upon following factors. First is fuel, second is fuel air ratio, third is temperature and pressure before the spark, and fourth is spark plug electrode gap, and fifth is the turbulence in combustion chamber. First of all, we will discuss the effect of fuel or type of fuel on ignition lag. Basically, ignition lag depends upon the chemical nature of the fuel. That is, what is the chemical nature of self ignition temperature or fuel or ignition temperature on which the fuel started combustion is called the self ignition of the fuel temperature. Higher is the self ignition temperature of the fuel, longer duration of the chemical reaction is required to achieve this high level of temperature. So chemical reaction take long duration to reach this higher self ignition temperature. So that is apparent that higher the self ignition temperature of the fuel, longer is the ignition lag. That is the self ignition temperature and comparison with the ignition lag. Higher the self ignition temperature, higher is the ignition lag. Second parameter is the effect of the fuel air ratio. That is the fuel air ratio on ignition lag. What is fuel air ratio? It is just opposite to the air fuel ratio. Ignition lag is smallest for the ratio which gives the maximum temperature on combustion. That is a fuel air ratio, which provide highest temperature. Now let's discuss about the some key points about the fuel air ratio or the air fuel ratio. As we know, you may wonder, the stoichiometric fuel air ratio is sufficient to produce a maximum temperature, to produce the maximum power, to produce the maximum fuel efficiency. Why not we use the stoichiometric air fuel ratio? Why we are discussing here fuel air ratio? Because stoichiometric ratio is ideally or theoretically is a ratio which provide us maximum temperature, maximum pressure, or the maximum work output, or the maximum power, or the maximum fuel efficiency. But in practice, it is quite impossible to produce a stoichiometric air fuel ratio throughout the charge, because when we produce a charge, there is a little time to produce the charge or mixing the air with fuel. There is little time. So what happens? The charge never be in a homogeneous state. It is heterogeneous in nature. If considering the fuel air ratio, some point in the charge or some places in the charge are higher in fuel, and some places or other places in the charge may be lower in a fuel, or some places are on the correct stoichiometric ratio. So this is quite impossible to make a homogeneous mixture where every particle or where on every point there is a stoichiometric ratio of air fuel ratio presents. So this is quite impossible. So what we adopt the approach is that either we make rich air fuel ratio or either we make lean air fuel ratio. Depending upon the different parameters, we prepare these two types of air fuel ratio, slightly rich or slightly light, depend upon the parameter. The first parameter, when we require higher fuel efficiency, we want to make assure that all the fuel is utilized, so we provide excessive oxygen to burn out all the fuel. So we provide a factor of safety by providing the excessive of fuel. And suppose in second parameter we want a slightly higher richer air fuel ratio. This is because in that case we want to assure the full utilization of oxygen. So there is a two approach: fuel utilization of fuel or full utilization of oxygen. If we want full utilization of oxygen, we provide higher fuel, so we may assure that full oxygen will be utilized in that case. And full utilization of oxygen provide us the maximum temperature, maximum pressure, and the maximum power, and or the maximum torque. So if we need maximum torque, maximum power, maximum temperature, then we provide a slightly rich air fuel ratio, that is the higher the fuel. And if we want a fuel efficiency, the proper utilization of fuel, then we provide higher oxygen or the higher air. So we provide a lean air fuel ratio to get the highest fuel efficiency. In that case, we will provide 10 to 15% richer air fuel ratio. This richer air fuel ratio assures the complete utilization of oxygen, and at that time, so emission lag is smallest for the fuel air ratio 10 to 15% richer, because it will provide us the maximum temperature, and as the ignition lag reduces as the temperature increases. As you see in this graph, this is a graph between the ignition lag displayed in vertical axis in milliseconds and fuel air ratio. The percentage of stoichiometric is presented on the x-axis. This is the percent of stoichiometric, that is the 100% stoichiometric air fuel ratio, that is the stoichiometric air fuel ratio. This is slightly richer, that is the fuel air ratio, not air fuel ratio. So 120, that is the 20% rich or 40% rich air fuel ratio. This is 80%. This is the lean air fuel ratio. So 20% leaner than the stoichiometric. As you see, the lowest, as you see that the ignition lag is continuously reducing and then again go higher. At the leaner air fuel ratio, this is the lean side of the fuel air ratio, this is the rich side of fuel ratio. At the leaner fuel air ratio, the temperature is low because oxygen is higher or air is higher, and at a higher amount of fuel produces a cooling of the fuel. So at excessively high richer air fuel ratio also provide the less temperature, so the ignition lag increases. So there is a maximum at this sweet point is here, which is 10 to 15% richer than the stoichiometric air fuel ratio. Now second parameter is the initial temperature and pressure and effect of this on ignition lag. Basically, we know that chemical reactions or speed of chemical reaction or rate of chemical reaction mainly depend upon the temperature. Higher the temperature, higher the chemical rate. Also the chemical reactions also depends upon pressure also, but the rate of chemical reaction increases rapidly with the increase in temperature. The rate of chemical reaction also depends in a smaller extent to the pressure. As the pressure increases, the rate of chemical reaction also increases, because the proximity or the closeness of the particles which are or reactants assure a higher rate of chemical reaction, but it is very less in extent than the temperature parameter. Suppose we increase the temperature, intake temperature, suppose we intake temperature or intake pressure, or if we increase the compression ratio, all eventually increases the temperature, pressure at the end of the compression stroke. If we increase the intake temperature after compression ratio will be higher. Intake pressure is higher, then after compression stroke pressure will be higher, and if compression ratio is higher, definitely the pressure after the compression stroke will be higher. And this is the time of spark. So at the time of spark, if intake temperature, pressure and compression ratio is increased, the temperature, pressure and both are increased at the time of spark. Therefore, increasing initial temperature, pressure and compression ratio all reduces the ignition lag, because temperature, as the temperature increases, chemical reaction speed increases, pressure increases, also the chemical reaction speed increases, so the both initial temperature and pressure reduces the ignition lag. The initial temperature and pressure increases, the ignition lag reduces. So this is all in this section of part 3a. In next section of part 3b, we will discuss other parameters like electrode gap and turbulence. Thanks.